Good morning, boys and girls, and today's story has to do with the second part of Knuffle Bunny. This one is titled Knuffle Bunny Too, and it's also written by Mo Willems. So Mo Willems made an all collection of this, and if you're interested, you can go online and try to find them and buy them for your family because this is a very good book or a good collection of books to be reading with your children, especially if they are small, meaning between the ages of 2 and 5. Let's begin. And as you know, Knuffle Bunny is more than what I can imagine. And I'm going to go and start reading from here. This illustration is very big, so I have to really take some time. One morning not so long ago, Trixie took a walk with her daddy. By now, Trixie really knew how to talk. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show Amy, and then I'll show Meg, and then I'll show Margaret, and then I'll show Jane, and then I'll show Leela, and then I'll show... I gotta put this still so you can see. It wobbles because it's a little heavy. Leela, and then we'll show Rebecca, and then we'll show Noah, and then we'll show Robbie, and then we'll show Toshi, and then we'll show Casey, and then we'll show Connie, and then we'll show Parker, and then we'll show Brian, and then... and talk and talk. Trixie was excited because she was taking her one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny saying someplace very special. Come on. She was going to school. Here's the pictures of them going through the hall into the school. Now you can't do that because of the pandemic, but you back then could. And here we go. Trixie couldn't wait to show Knuffle Bunny to Mrs. Greengrove and all her friends in pre-K. See, she's also in pre-K like you. But just as her daddy kissed her goodbye, Trixie saw Sonia. I wonder who Sonia is. This is Sonia. Suddenly, Trixie, one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny, wasn't so one-of-a-kind anymore. Because Sonia had the same doll. Or stuffed animal. The morning did not go well. Knuffle, 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 Knuffle. The afternoon was worse, and the pre-K teacher had to take both Knuffle Bunnies away from the students. When the school bell rang, Mrs. Greengrove returned the Knuffle Bunnies. And the day got better. Then before she knew it, it was time to go home. Trixie ate her dinner, devoured her dessert, brushed her teeth, and tried to escape Mommy and Daddy robots from Planet Snurp. At 1/2 past bedtime, Trixie was tucked in, ready for sleep. But a few hours later, Trixie realized something. Trixie marched into her mommy and daddy's room and said, "This is not my bunny." Trixie's daddy tried to explain what 2:30 a.m. means. He asked, "Can we deal with this in the morning?" Trixie's daddy went to the phone because it looks like he could not convince Trixie, and Trixie wanted her bunny. Oh, brother. Before he even made it down the stairs, bring, the telephone rang. "We have your bunny," said a man's voice on the other end. "We have yours," replied Trixie's daddy. Arrangements were made. Look at that, Trixie. Jesus. Trixie and her daddy rushed across the neighborhood. Poor thing, such a late time in the night to be running. Trixie did not want to be late. So what did she do? She ran. And mind you, this is in New York City. There was an exchange. And the Knuffle Bunnies were back where they belong. "I was so worried about my bunny," said Sonia. So was I," Trixie replied. Then they both said, "I am glad you got your bunny back," at the exact same time. So they giggled. And that is how Trixie found her first best friend. The end. The next morning, Trixie and Sonia rushed to school. The new best friends had a lot of catching up to do. "Do you want to play with my Knuffle Bunny?" "Sure." "Do you want to play with mine?" The end. It's very interesting how children get so attached to something like that. Everyone must have something that they're attached to, so always remember that children always have a different feeling about what is really important to them versus what we think is important. And we as adults, we need to be understanding of what our children want and need, especially at that age of 4 and 5, right? I hope you didn't have a negative experience about it, but you can share your experience about what you think was that moment when you thought you lost something or had the wrong one and you had to go back. Okay? This is it for this read aloud, and I hope you had a wonderful day because guess what? We're ready to do math. Smart is not something you are, smart is something you get.